I will open up the Tuesday, August 26th Sewer Commissioners meeting. Elaine, aye.
Bill Watson, aye.
Okay. Why don't we start with an update from the superintendent?
Okay, as far as updates, we're getting a lot of building permits coming through.
Oh,
There's
good.
quite a lot of activity now. I think people are starting to really get into this ADU process. There's a couple cutting caps that are going on. Also some new construction, change of use process, which actually we have someone here regarding the 114 Main Street. Which we can wait till Brian comes to discuss. As far as the plant, all our treatment is going very well. Our injured individual that has been out since January is gonna be, heading in for surgery mid-September. So we're expecting to have him back by end of year, we're hoping. Financials we can wait on. We had a issue this morning that we lost internet connection at 3 o'clock in the morning, so we had one of our operators come in, basically stay at the plant from 3 o'clock in the morning till everyone else got there at 7, just to make sure we didn't have any overflows or anything. All our septage that has been coming in from the Cape for a project down in Mashpee has come to an end.
Okay.
But we have word that another one is gonna be starting up next week
Oh,
for a
okay.
project a little more north of us. I believe it might be in the Marshfield area. So we're gonna probably have an increase in septage revenue for at least the next month.
Okay, good.
Good news.
Good for us.
Other than that, I think, I don't have any new news other than going over our other items that, we have on our agenda tonight. Financial update, 114 Main Street. 22 Main, I haven't heard anything recently about that,
Okay.
but I'm expecting somewhere mid-September, they were closing on that property.
No, on
I'm
200
sorry.
Main.
Sorry, 200 Main.
Okay. So, 200 Main. Why don't you do the financial update and then we can, after the meeting, just give Brian a briefing on it.
Okay. So. let me just- Been a long weeks, trying to get everything squared.
That's okay.
Head out of Dodge. so-
And, even 22 Main Street, based on the, looks like the Board of Health did an order to correct some violations.
So that order, what I did was I asked the Board of Health to give me a copy of what they use for a format.
Okay,
So I don't know if that's been sent out yet, but it
Okay.
gives us kind of a template to address the issues we have to deal with at
Okay.
22 Main. So I've attached some pictures and some of our rules and regulations that I highlighted.
okay,
So part of that highlighted stuff in there was basically to try and mimic how the Board of Health approaches these issues.
yeah, that would make sense.
And they're expecting to go there on Thursday. But their visit on Thursday, I just saw an email that it might get extended out a little bit. If they were to go on site on Thursday, Board of Health and the building department, the Board of Health expects it to take about 2 weeks for put all their details together.
Okay,
So we have some time for us to get all our stuff in order. And I think the plan is, we've been advised to just kind of send everything all at once from all the different departments
okay,
to the owner of the property.
okay,
And then based on that, they have a certain time frame to address the issues.
okay,
And our rules and regulations, in one area called for 7 days for a response, another area was 5 days. I think the Board of Health, they have 7 days written
Right.
for their rules and regulations.
yeah, we might as well be consistent with what the other,
Yeah, I think 7
Department
days is
should
a
do.
reasonable number.
yeah,
We do reference it on our rules and regulations already.
okay, so if we're talking a couple of weeks, this is the 27th. Let's see. 26, what's two?
I don't.
Okay. Okay, I'll pull up my calendar. Let's see what we have. Okay, so that would be around September 9th. When's our next meeting? The 16th? Okay. How about we, between now and the 16th, if you can put together a draft for us? And if it turns out it needs to be sent out sooner than our review on the 16th, we can have a special meeting the week before to make sure we're in line with what the other department timings are. So we're not, interrupting the process.
Yeah, and I was hoping to have kind of something rough, ready to go by the end of the week this week.
Oh,
Where
okay,
I won't be around next week.
okay,
So at least there's something that, will give at least my insight on it. And then
Okay.
you guys can kind of add or subtract
Yeah.
according to what you feel is appropriate.
that'll be good. That way, if we have to meet sooner, because Gina, you can coordinate with the Board of Health. I know you work with them. If we have to do anything sooner, we can use your draft and modify it if we need to. And meet if we have to meet ahead of time. Okay, so we take care of that.
The 16th, I may not be back in town.
Oh, okay,
I'm gonna be in New Hampshire. I'm not sure what time I come back.
okay,
We'll be spending the day there golfing or,
good for you. Okay,
yeah. And you're gonna be gone the week of the 9th, right?
Next week and the week after.
yeah,
Right.
So 3rd through the 12th.
But keep the schedule for the 16th, if that's what you're doing. and
Okay.
let us know. Like, if I have to-
yeah, we'll target that and then
I'm
we'll
not
go,
driving.
okay,
Or see if what was driving.
okay. So, and then just, the financials, Dave, just an overview. We don't need any,
Yeah.
just, we're
So,
doing good, we're not.
Yeah, so the closeout for FY 25, when we started out the year, we were expecting somewhere, shortfalls somewhere in the range of 400,000. That we allocated money at town meeting to cover any shortfalls we might have. And things aren't closed out completely to be made public, but what we're seeing right now is we balanced our budget with our additional, increases on fees for half the year and our septic revenue. So we pretty much balanced the entire budget last year without having to take our money from town meeting.
Excellent. Very good. Do you ballpark on what we got in septage this year?
600 and was it 60? 620,000?
622. And
That's more than double what you've been getting.
Yeah, we pretty much, I don't think we've ever made it over 400,000.
Yeah,
We've been
No.
300,000.
396 was the high year. And that was several years ago.
right. That's great.
And the plant is running great with that additional septic.
Good,
So having the 3 tanks has really helped on the revenue side.
good. Okay, so we did 22 Main Street. I'm just trying to,
Kill time.
he should be here soon. So basically, we just, to start the conversation anyway, we understand that there's a potential for laundromat to go in. And how many machines are expected?
So on the washer side, we have a total of 19.
Okay, it is the 19.
Yeah.
Okay, and the conversation, once Brian gets here, will be, going by Title V, the 400 gallons per day. It would come out to, approximately $528,000 for the full betterment for those machines, for the change of use over 20 years.
Yeah,
And we're looking to see, we have, the discussion can be as much as, there are occasions where we can use actual use rather than Title V number, and this may be a good application of that. And it could be that we charge one rate for the first year to get some history and then see what the, average would be going forward.
right.
Because we realize that, it's,
Yeah, it would be prohibitive. Yeah.
yeah,
Um, So just some background on it. Typically with laundromats, there's a lot of misconceptions out there depending on a variety of factors. This type of laundromat in this type of community, the focus is on what's called a wash, dry, and fold service.
Okay,
So people who live in the community have washers at home, but they don't have a large capacity washer, so they can't do their bedding, or like my wife has to do, they're running 5, 6 loads a day to keep up with the kids' clothes and their clothes, but they have to do multiple loads because of capacity issues. So your home style washer is typically between 16 and 20 pound capacity.
okay,
These machines come in various capacities. Of the 19 machines, 4 of them are 80 pound capacity machines. 10 of them are 60 pound capacity machines, and 5 of them are 40 pound capacity machines. So the smallest machine in the laundromat has a capacity of at least twice that of a home style
okay,
unit. From a water usage perspective, they are more efficient per pound, right? So and I'll give you all these
Okay.
too. I'm sorry, I only have 3 copies.
That's okay.
I wasn't sure how many people.
Yeah, well, fine.
So
Probably.
from a water per pound perspective, these machines will, for a gallon of water, will wash twice as much as a home style machine would with a gallon of water. So in other words, a home style machine might, with a gallon of water, wash, say, 0.4 pounds of laundry. And these machines will get approximately 0.8 to 0.9 pounds of laundry per gallon of water.
so it would be safe to say that a home capacity of 20 pounds would equal your 40 pounds.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep, that's a good assessment.
Okay.
So from an impact perspective, and this is, I admit, I'm walking up a steep hill here, but truly, we're typically not adding a lot of capacity to a system. We're really just kind of redirecting capacity. The draw is usually less than 5 miles distance for people to go to that laundromat.
Okay.
In an urban environment, it's smaller. It's like 2 miles. And in those cases, in an urban environment, a lot of people don't have washers and dryers at home. In this type of environment, it's typically who we're catering to. They have washers and dryers. They're either looking for a more efficient method or to use the drop-off service to save time,
Okay.
so they can head to the Cape or the ball game or go to New Hampshire and play golf. So from an impact perspective on your system, it should be, less than what's currently going on with people washing at home.
Okay.
We also use detergents that are typically lower in phosphate or phosphate-free. In fact, phosphate-free right now is one of our higher demands for the people that use wash and fold service. They want the dye-free, scent-free detergents that are also phosphate-free, so
Okay.
you get less phosphates going into the system. And we use lint traps, so we catch the majority of the lint coming through the washers are caught in the trap and before they go out into the system. So there's some benefits versus, a home style.
Right.
So in the packet I provided, it just has the manufacturer's spec sheets, and I highlighted how many gallons per cycle each machine uses to kind of back up the data on the first sheet to show you. It also, the industry average of turns per day is actually 3.5. In the chart, I use 5 turns, which is a higher number of usages, just to kind of be favorable. And I calculated out the gallons per day per machine, as well as, total gallons per day for the aggregate, which is at 5 turns a day would be about 4,800 gallons a week.
Okay. For 7 days.
for 7 days if every machine ran at least 5 times a day, which I've been in the industry for about almost 20 years now, and average is really closer to 4 than 5.
Yeah.
You know, a real busy store in, like, say, Brockton might exceed that, but in a suburban environment, you're 3 to 4 turns a day is actually pretty high use,
Okay.
considered high use.
And Brian, just to catch you up.
Yeah.
We just got,
Sorry,
the-
being late.
oh, that's okay. The little intro, if you want to just repeat the machine capacities and the
Yeah, yeah.
efficiency.
So we have a total for this proposed laundromat, we have a total of 19 machines. 4 of them are 80-pound capacity machines. 10 of them are 60-pound capacity machines, and 5 of them are 40-pound capacity machines. And the 40-pound, as an example, the 40-pound capacity machine uses 35.1 gallons of water per cycle. Whereas your standard top loader in your home would use between 35 and 45 gallons of water per cycle. So, and would do half that amount of laundry.
These are all front loading, right?
These are all front load, high efficiency machines, right? They're industrial machines. They're built in Iowa. They're American made, made in Iowa. The company has been in business for a little over 100 years. It's an employee owned company. So really good quality machines. That I use them in all the laundromats I have, and the ones we built because of they're American made.
I'm just using my
This
calculator.
actually seems, the 2 questions I had, each, the average gallons per average water usage, that's, if I put something in, it's gonna use 67 gallons until it's done.
Correct, in total for the
Total,
complete
right.
cycle, right?
What soap, what rinse, all that, that's so, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I get it.
And we can, I'm very sort of conservative when I do numbers. So because of the purpose of this board, I sort of leaned on the heavy side. We actually so you can program each washer, and we try to make them a little more efficient than the factory default.
Okay.
So the way the programming works, you can't set how many gallons, but what you can set is the time for the rinse, right? So we'll typically reduce the rinse from, say, a 5 minutes part of the cycle to, say, a 4 minute. So that reduces the amount of water that's used, but I can't scientifically tell you that, hey, that's going to shave off 2 gallons. It might, might be less than that. So I left it at factory defaults for the purpose of this, but we do run them more efficiently than the factory.
Okay. And my thought was maybe the first year we charge them X. And then once we have some history, we revisit it.
That was exactly my thinking, yeah.
Okay, geez,
So,
The
there's
other
no,
thing is, we're selling ERUs, we're selling betterments.
right.
You know, if you sell them that, all those betterments, he locked those out. We can't sell, if he only needs half of them to operate, we can't sell those other half to somebody else. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Yes, I think
We're allocating out.
with our new rules and regulations, that third condition gives us flexibility.
Mhm.
So I think what we could do is, how many we said?
Well,
20,
can I just jump
No,
in on
sure,
that?
go ahead.
Because I looked at, it, you take 4,800 gallons a day and you divide it by 110. And then you divide that by 3, 14 ERUs
okay,
instead of 22 ERUs. That's not based on usage. So they would be locking up 14 instead of 22. And you can see how the history goes. If they exceed that, then they can come back purchasing the ERU or adjust it.
yeah, that,
But we have to,
that's exactly.
we
what
have
I
to
think.
charge you up front for the extra usage that you're gonna lock up from the entire system.
I understand.
You really don't want to sell you more than you need.
Right,
Because we can't sell those off to somebody else in the future to build a house or
right.
or add on to something. So I'm just throwing that out at the
No, I
moment
think
for
that's,
discussion.
when we talked about this briefly before, that's kind of what I was thinking. I mean, we'd have to write some kind of an agreement where, I mean, it's to your benefit. If you use more water, you're making more money. So,
Yeah, right, hopefully, yeah.
so, I mean, I hope that happens because we make more money. So
Right.
we're an enterprise account, so we're all on the same page here. But I think that makes a lot of sense. What you just said is, let's go with what your conservative estimate is based on your history. And if it goes up, it goes up.
Right,
We might, maybe after 6 months, we could have a 6-month and a 12-month check-in.
yeah,
Because, your business has to start up. We'll see, it could be this way, it could be like this. Who knows?
right, right.
That makes sense, Steve, David, at all, because I don't wanna lock up something that they're not gonna really use and have them pay up front for something that they're not gonna use.
Right, right. And that's a concern I would have too, is just, if we do use a Title V quantities, it could be all over the map.
Right, but that's what we base our ERUs on, is Title V, 110 gallons a day.
Right.
And one ERU is 330 gallons a day.
You were getting numbers from your audit.
So, yeah, so just to show you some of the research we did on our end was, in Plymouth, I picked 3 different laundromats. And, they vary quite a bit in per machine. So I went into the different locations. I got the water bills for the history for the last 2 years on each property. And some of the machines were out of service. And so what I looked at was what was currently in service at the time that I walked in. Not being used, but operating machines.
Right,
So one place was down to 158 gallons per machine. Another place was up to 527 per machine per day. And then another one, 238. So the overall average came out to 307 gallons per machine per day.
It's pretty close to me.
But it's quite a swing from, 150 to 520.
well,
Huge range.
yeah, so and I'm very familiar with the laundromats in Plymouth. A few different things it comes down to is the age of the machines. I know all but one of those laundromats has some pretty old equipment. And whether or not, they have the top loaders or not, because the top loaders are a real water hog. We don't use top loaders at all. But that's why I brought the manufacturer's spec sheet, so you could see the actual water use right out of the factory, what the machine spec for. And like I said, we will guarantee to be somewhat less than that, but for the purposes of this, I can tell you, we won't exceed that per cycle. I know that much.
Okay.
So your average per machine was what?
Overall, those 3 different laundromats, 307.
Yeah, see, and if I use your numbers, it's 258, so we're not
Yeah.
that far off.
Yeah, not too far.
You have a conservative, better washer, and, state of the art, they don't,
Right,
so it's going the right direction. And,
Yeah.
just to check the numbers, it makes complete sense to me.
yeah.
If we go with the 14 EIUs, the 14, then at 24,000 apiece, that's 336,000 over 20 years, which is be 16,800 per year plus 2% interest.
Okay,
So that gives,
I didn't break that into this, but we were gonna discuss whether it's a commercial, a new flow rate on the new rate, because we just changed the rates.
right,
But then again, the other side of an argument on that is they're not creating 14 houses.
right.
It's one building, they're bettering the building, they're using it for X amount of years or whatever. We are gonna get, 14 ERUs out, off of that, that get pays for the plant. So, I wouldn't have a problem with going with 24,000
Okay.
as opposed to 40,000, which is the new rate. It just came into effect before you came in.
okay.
So, that's, I'm open to conversation.
Yeah.
Board.
Yeah.
If you want to stick with that number.
Because it's an existing building, because that's really why we made that
Change of use.
The change of use as opposed to a new, if it was down the street, brand new or something else.
Right.
Yeah.
But, I think this is exactly the kind of circumstance that we were looking at.
That's that we have that discretion to talk about that.
And the other part that, to go to your point, Bill, is that we're looking at people on 3A who are, majority of them are almost paid or already paid their betterment. We're trying to leave them alone unless they do what you're doing to make something better.
Right.
But everybody else is on a different page.
I see.
40,000 number. So we have a whole different part of the plant to pay for. It's a lot more expensive.
Right.
And we're looking at inflation. It's a very fair way to look at it, but this is a different situation. I know this, the number here too is really gonna be good for, on the water department side. This is gonna be,
Right.
well, I think, well received. You're talking
So,
about,
yeah, I mean, eventually, if you buy the 14 ERUs, that the property owns that, so you can change the use again, you can do whatever you want within that, that restriction, without having to pay again.
Okay, that's good
They
to
decide
know.
to put in a 10-story building there and put in, 14 condominiums.
good luck putting a 10-story, but
You've already paid for that part of that.
Okay.
privilege of being able to do that. But then again, if you only last a year, someone just paid for, or was paying on.
Yeah.
I don't know, do we have a process where if they do it over 30 years, they go bankrupt, do we take it back or? I don't think there's anything in place yet.
No, but we can certainly update the rules and regulations.
we kind of, the way I look at it is we've dealt with a few other properties. We're actually, it's almost like a license. You never actually, you can't walk away with it.
Right,
It's always part of the property, so
Right.
it stays with the property, and if you don't need it, you can sell it back to us potentially. We've had that.
But
discussion.
we've had that discussion, but we've never.
Yeah. I mean, we have that flexibility now with the new rule we made to kind of do something like that, but from my point of view, good luck, use more water and if you.
Right.
But
well, it's good to know too that, it's looked at as a tangible asset that,
Oh, yeah.
can be transferred and that also makes it a little easier from our perspective because, like the equipment package costs approximately 500,000. The build out costs approximately 500,000. So we're already at $1 million right there. And, it just keeps, and then when you look at sort of your end user, the people that are coming in and drop off laundry or do laundry, there's a limit to what you can charge, right? So you've got to make all the numbers work. So it's good to know that at least on that end of it,
Yeah.
that's something that can be have value, lasting value that can be moved around or recouped at some point in different ways. So that makes it easier for
Yeah.
us. Yeah.
And obviously we want you to be as successful as
Yeah.
possible.
Right. We appreciate that.
And, and I think that's a very good approach.
one question on the wastewater side. This is gonna be strictly commercial, residential type wash. You're not gonna have clients coming in with industrial waste clothes and
No.
stuff.
Not trucking in
You know,
laundry from hotels
Right.
and stuff like that,
or
it's all local laundry.
anything from
You don't
factory
want to
type stuff
contaminate
where we're gonna,
machines.
this
No,
can have,
exactly. Right.
hazardous materials and stuff like that on the clothes. I mean, the incidental stuff that people like me would get on me because I'm working in the Addison. But I'm just thinking that, just make sure that that's clear. We probably want to put that in.
Yeah, it's retail only.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I don't know if you hear when he said that you do use low phosphate
Yeah,
detergents as
Yep.
much as possible. And filtrate out the lint going out in the water. There'll be 2 lint traps. There'll be a lint train on the washing machines, and then there'll be a lint tank on the way out. So there'll be 2 sets of screens.
this isn't a typical oil, this isn't a typical grease trap situation either, so it's
Right.
not, then we don't have to worry about that. They just swim are. Sounds pretty good.
So that was all I was throwing out.
Okay, yeah, we'll make that a motion that, we assess 14 EIUs at $24,000 apiece, plus 2% interest
Mhm,
over a span of 20 years.
mhm.
And we will retail only, and we'll revisit it in 6 months
6 months and then a year.
and then a year, and
That's,
adjust accordingly.
Because then if you're gonna exceed that amount of water, you're gonna, buy another couple of ERUs.
yeah, that's all very fair. I
Okay.
think that's
It really
reasonable.
doesn't go back the other way.
Yeah.
You
Fair
have
enough.
14.
I got it.
So I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Okay.
That's it. We'll put that in writing and you'll be good to go.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for your time. I
You're welcome.
appreciate it.
What's your plan to move forward?
Well, if everything went well here, which it went very well, I feel like, we're all being reasonable. We're gonna try to move forward as fast as possible now and pick up the pace and, try to, ideally, we'll have it open in late fall, before year end, ideally.
Unfortunately, because this was such an unusual circumstance, the permit is here and it was being delayed because of this issue.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to be at least.
Yeah,
fair to you
You're a check off on.
and give the board a chance to
Yeah, all
Put their
fair.
minds together.
Yeah,
See what
absolutely.
we could do for
No, I appreciate
I
it.
do have one more question I just thought of, I forgot. Are you gonna have dry cleaning, self-contained dry cleaning type units?
No.
Other on the stuff, so.
No, we may, because of the community, we may offer dry cleaning drop off, but we would work as a subcontractor. So, yeah, it's really just a drop off center and we send it to a third party vendor.
No machines on it. So the one down the street, they do have a dry cleaning inside. It's a self-contained, there's no discharge, but
Yeah.
somehow they recycle the,
Yeah, I stayed away from dry cleaning. It's, for one, it's kind of a declining industry. Fabrics are so different nowadays. But also, we try to stay away from anything that we could have a.
The overhead, really, of this,
Yeah, yeah,
well, then you get the hazardous waste potentially in those things.
right.
Like,
Try
I
to
understand.
stay away from that.
But I just,
Clean water.
Clean water.
there was one other thing I just wanted to real quick. Financial water, you can pay those ERUs off upfront if you want.
Okay.
It's up to you, or take them for the what, 30 years. And the irrigation, you can take 'em.
Yeah, for us, I think it'd be better off, the upfront expense on the equipment and the build out is
Because like,
significant. So,
they came in the mall, they paid us upfront.
Okay.
They paid it off, right?
Oh,
Off the bat.
well, we'll discuss it, but
Yeah, but if you have an option.
that's good to know. We at least have the option.
Yeah.
I will. Thank you all. I appreciate your
Use
time.
money.
Can't do that.
Thanks.
Oh, thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
Thanks for being-
Appreciate your time. Pleasure meeting you. Thank you.
And
Thank you.
I'll send an email out to you tomorrow. I'll get you Jeannie's information. All right, yeah.
Thank
Nice to
you.
meet you again. Good luck. So I was just saying, I'll send an email out tomorrow, get Jeannie's information to you. I'm gonna be on vacation the
Okay.
next couple of weeks, so anything as far as getting the paperwork on and stuff, she can help you.
Appreciate it.
No problem.
Thank you very much.
And we can always
Bye.
call a meeting if you need something.
Okay. You have a great night. Thank you all.
Very good.
You wanna do business with them, they're not gonna take up a big footprint and they're gonna
Right.
contribute.
It's so interesting when, like, I haven't been involved with a washer laundromat before, and then trying to figure out what numbers they use and him coming within
Yeah.
pretty close range to,
that's,
Yeah.
in the low side of your average, that's what I thought was really right on.
Yeah. And the good thing too was, the machines are so efficient nowadays
Yeah,
that for what a home machine, we say, but what a home machine produces, his 40 pounder is equal
yeah.
because of the efficiencies.
Well, I think I told you about our machine that we bought a couple of years ago. It still baffles me the thing works. I mean, I'm not kidding you. You take like a
barely
thimble.
anything for
It's like
water.
almost 2 thimbles of soap. It's special HME, it says. High efficient machine, HEM. You put that in the bottom first. You can't put the clothes in and then put the soap like you used to be able to do. And then you put the clothes in and fill it up like this. And the water never gets that deep.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you.
Yeah.
It's unfriggin' believable.
Weird. It's weird to watch. You have a
But now it
glass
takes
top.
16 hours to
And,
wash.
and just to put this in perspective, how important this is from a water supply. I provided the water commission. so
That worked, I think that was a compliment.
They look-
They
Look forward in the demand of water,
Yeah.
all the demand because of these things
Yeah.
is going down.
And I had
There's a whole lot of reasons.
rather give them 14 before the 22 people.
That and the community's
Yeah,
getting
that's
older
very
in
good.
Kingston, so you don't have all the kids taking those long
Yeah.
showers.
That'll do it. Yeah, I had 2 girls, so I know what that does.
And we just briefly discussed 22 Main Street.
Okay.
That Dave, before he goes on vacation, is gonna, we have a template for the Board of Health, order of conditions,
in your
What's it?
packet.
and he's gonna put together something similar from us based on the connections.
Okay.
And, by the time he gets back from vacation, should be when all the other departments have their information compiled as well. And the notices would go out, pretty much simultaneously. But if we need to meet prior to that, something comes up, we can certainly call a meeting before our meeting scheduled on the 16th.
So I think if we can discuss it.
Sure, go ahead.
Further, just so everyone's on the same page.
Yep.
If you look at this particular drawing, did I give you one with a highlighted strip on it? I was rushing to get things together
It's okay.
for our meeting today. But if, look at one of your, you should have
Yes, that we have.
this,
So that, okay.
which is their drawing of. So I don't know how familiar you are with the property, but this particular drawing shows there's a front building. So there's Main Street. There's 22 and 22 rear. So two buildings. And this, you see that, all right? This here, 22, their connection goes, it seems like out the back and out that side of the building. 22 rear comes down almost at the front entrance with a bunch of parking spaces. So I don't see anything that had happened on our first visit anyway, visually. I think this connection over here has been untouched. But this connection is the one I'm concerned about, because now there's been an additional few outbuildings that have moved, put out in this area and out back. And if you look at these pictures, which are
Yeah,
tucked in the packet, those would be coming from over in this direction. So that piping that you see would be stuff that wasn't originally cammed in.
okay.
So the service connection itself, from what we have for records, is just this connection for this rear building coming down. So that should have been what they were.
That is where the service connection comes out of the building.
I'm sorry.
Well, that area there, is that what this is?
So that is actually the roof leader from 22 rear
Right,
pops out and actually taps into a
that's,
hole.
that's where it breaks into it.
Yeah.
So that's this little, right here in the corner?
That's actually a different angle of a different building. Yeah, you can ignore that. Basically, the roof leader coming off of 22 rear comes off of 22 and comes down. You can almost see like a little gravel trench.
Yep,
That's where I assume the sewer line passed,
So this was actually.
and they broke into it to tap the roof leader in, and then eventually bring it further back on the property and tap into these outbuildings.
This is underneath that.
Correct.
So they broke down, dug this up, went down deep enough, and then just put blocks all the way back up to allow it to run straight down.
that is a sewer connection though.
No, this is a roof.
But this is
leader.
a sewer, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And this is a roof leader into a sewer connection. This is legitimate though, pretty much?
It was original.
Yeah.
But they broke
Yeah.
into it,
Right.
dug down.
But it's still got
break
sewage in it,
into
right? They still got
Dump-
sewage.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Run off into it from the roof.
Yeah, it hasn't been, that's,
There must be a low area there apparently in that section that they wanted to alleviate the water pressure because it's getting water from groundwater and just surface water as well as the roof water.
yeah, and in the winter months, and I imagine that water traveled before they did this modification, I imagine the water traveled down that asphalt driveway and became a slippery mess.
Yeah, unless it slopes back into that corner, and that's what they did.
That was my, does it slope away from Main Street? Or does it slope towards Main Street?
This property is at a higher elevation. so
Okay, it's kind of
drop it
slower.
down, drop down slow.
Every time I try to go see this place, there's so much cars, I can't slow down and look at it.
Okay.
There's no place to pull over really.
So my personal opinion on this, and looking at our rules and regulations, which I attached some highlighted parts of our rules and regulations. I think what we'd be looking for, and I'd like your opinion on it, is just basically restore it to the original conditions that it was designed and built as. When it was initially set up as the front building being connected on its own connection, the rear building having its own connection without any outbuildings connected to it. without any penetrations for any roof leaders. So my concern is, this is a penetration that I saw when I was out there, but there could be other things underground that I'm not seeing. So personally, I'd like to see that this is exposed from wherever they made this new trench all the way back to make sure that there are no secondary or roof leaders or any other additional plumbing other than its original connection.
How difficult would it be to get a camera to go to run through that whole? Once you dig this up, you go this way and that way, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I would, my request, well, I think our request from a department standpoint is to dig that up, expose it from point A to point B, whatever that happens to be, so we can see the line. We could send a camera from that point further down to make sure there's nothing, but I believe the modifications were made, say, 3/4 of the way up into the property, and from to start digging all the way out to
I
the
got you.
street is
Expose it.
excessive. But at least, you know, if you can expose from where this new trench is all the way back, and we can see all the connections, make sure the pipe's intact, that there's no other roof leaders, or that whole rear of this parking lot is all stone and gravel.
Was that shed built on top of the?
Yeah, I was gonna ask,
The
is
line
this
running-
going that way? Looks like it may go into the shed or whatever this building is.
Yeah, that is just, I have some video of it. That's just an outcropping from maybe a stairwell or something. So it's like an added porch or patio. You can see a small indication of a deck and a set of stairs there. And I think that's what you're seeing.
Skirting on the stairs.
Yeah, I
Oh,
believe so.
Okay.
So you think it comes back, it turns and comes back in?
It's supposed to, according
Okay.
to. That's 22 front, so ignore that.
I think they should expose it from the street, put it into the street, all the way back, if you have to, it should break to the building, it goes into the building. And is there a basement in this building that this stubs into? Or stubs out
I
of?
don't know if there's a basement or not. I haven't been inside that building other than
Okay.
there was an outbuilding of sorts attached to the house here.
Yeah.
That then this bottom apartment was actually modified. And this became,
There's a lot of different buildings on that
oh,
property
yeah,
in the last 25 years.
oh, yeah.
Once they hooked in 25 years ago, they just keep adding
Mhm.
little sheds and things, and we don't know whether when they went to put the shed in, they dug up a hole and went down
Yeah.
inside. So we need, I think for your purpose, you're gonna need to see it exposed all the way back into the building, where it penetrates the building.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
How deep do you
Whether they
think
have
the
to move
sewer
the
is?
sheds or not, that's up to them, it's not us.
Yeah. How deep do you think the sewer is?
In this
3 or 4
area, it's
feet?
not, in that area, it's not that deep. That's maybe 1.5 feet. As you come up here with the stuff they added on, they came up right up to ground level and above ground level. So it goes from,
But the sewer must be pretty deep as you come towards the street, because it's going uphill, right? I mean,
oh, that,
you're uphill in the back and you're going, the street must be at least 8 feet deep, right?
Not necessarily, no, my property is going down like 4.5 feet.
Is it? Okay, so there's just, okay, depends where you are, I guess.
Yeah. Although you're right, that does rise there a little bit. They would have just kept running the pipe up all the street grade.
yeah, we do have that record as far as what the depth is out there, I think. It might be 5 feet, 7 deep.
But I wasn't
out
right.
towards
They
the
said
street.
I was down 6 feet. Down like 4.
Well, the sewer pipe in the street, well, it might be 6, but you have a chimney comes up.
Oh, right, right,
Come up 2 feet. I mean,
You're right. You'd have-
that's why I'm trying to figure out just how deep it is. Dave was not looking for that front piece, but if that's you want to do, that's fine. I just don't want to create a hazardous situation. If it's 6 foot deep trench, you want to have them do it. If it's the front is deeper, do it and pack, you wouldn't observe it, get an engineer maybe to certify what's going on, and there's no, somehow make that satisfy you. But then backfill it right away. Particularly if you have a 4 or 6 foot, you're looking at leaving it open for a day or two and you get tape. it's a hazardous condition, but whatever I think Dave's looking for.
Yeah, I mean, I would have the owner, oh, this is what we want, hire a drain layer, a licensed drain layer. And dig it up. And then he can put it back in, the engineer can, get your engineer to sign off on it.
Yeah, do you want an as-built from an engineer too? I mean, or is that Dave's observations fine, given the circumstances? I mean, I think,
Are you comfortable with that, Dave?
Yeah, if I put my eyes on it and I know it's complete from the edge of the property all the way
Yeah.
back to 22 rear. And any pipes that did tie into it that are non-conforming, that they're just taken out of there completely.
and
I'm
anything
okay with that.
they
Any-
cut into,
any
there's a section
penetrations.
of pipe they busted a hole into. Take the pipe out and put
Oh,
a
yeah.
new section in too.
Yeah, yeah, not all these little scab pieces
Yeah.
here and there, just wherever it's messed up from here to the house, replace it.
If it's in the groundwater too, another problem. It's just another leak. All right. I mean,
Make that motion then, just to,
yeah, make a motion to, what Bill said, that superintendent be, directed to excavate the sewer from the front of the property to the back of the property rear only. And, make observations and make determinations as to what violations are, and report back to us so we can,
And repairs to be made at the same
and
time.
repairs to be made at the same time. So that's my motion.
I'll second that.
all in favor? Aye.
All right,
That give you the direction,
I think so. I'll put back, some brief, notes on it. I'll pick them over to you by the end of the week, so you can kind of have them.
Okay.
They'll be ready to go if you want to make any changes or whatever. Brian, I don't know if you were here for that part of it, but, we were gonna, the Board of Health Building Department, myself, possibly Fire Department, we're gonna go back there on Thursday. Right now, it's not determined whether Thursday is gonna be the revisit day or not. But once that revisit to the site is done, the Board of Health said they would need at least 2 weeks to put together all their information. So we have 2 weeks basically from the second site visit before we have to have this together. So it could be something that's even 3 weeks out, but where I'm
So
going.
looking at the end,
vacation,
we're looking at the end of September then?
It could be middle of September,
right.
or beyond. So I just want to have something together before I go away, so at least if something has to happen while I'm gone, you guys can kind of give your input.
yeah,
And you may have, I'm sorry,
And we've been asked, well, it's been recommended that all the different departments that have an issue with the property all give their information all at once. So it's not coming in piecemeal to them. This is the wastewater, this is the health department, building
This is
department.
are they
plumbing.
turning to go together?
This is to just go direct with the property owner.
Okay.
And then if it goes beyond that, that's when we get the
Okay.
legal department to follow up.
So are we discussing fines then from each of the different departments that reflect our rules and regulations? Are we talking about anything like that?
we can at the next meeting once we got the,
Yeah, I'm just saying that's true. All the different departments are gonna make their
yeah,
independent determination on that.
yeah.
So in your packet, I put in
That's-
some stuff that was
Yeah.
highlighted.
Yep.
Just anywhere that I happen to see if there's verbiage in there relating to violations or modifications and things like that. And some of it does refer back to some Massachusetts laws and fines as well. And then time for, giving the person enough time to fix the problems that, you discover. So it could be 5 to 7 days. And Board of Health gave us a little footprint of what they normally put together for a document. So I'm going to use that as a template going forward for my observations.
I knew we had fines in it, but they do refer back to the Mass General Law then?
And I think in that packet, you also have a copy of the Mass General Law.
Yes, you provided that.
That one there.
Yeah, this is the $5,000 one. The other
Right.
one is 25.
Yeah,
Do one or the other. But I think getting an estimate of what it's gonna cost them to repair it is good to have too. Just so we can, fix it, do everything right, we'll spend a bunch of money fixing it, right, making it right the way we want it, the way Dave wants it. And then, okay, remember don't ever do this again.
So the couple things I've been kind of thinking about on it too is, how long has this roof drain been connected to our sewer system? We have rain events that we have increased flows coming to the plant. And if we didn't add the extra tanks to the plant, we wouldn't have had an overflow at least a couple, probably 3 years ago now. Because we had over 600,000 gallons coming into a plant that wasn't made to handle 600,000 gallons. So you've got someone that's been creating some of this problem all these years. And to just have them expose the line and fix it,
That's the question. What else were they pulling down there?
to me, all right, that doesn't really show any sort of, I don't know, penalty for doing what was done. We've treated all that water all these years, so,
Right.
I feel like a penalty is.
Oh, definitely a
in this
penalty.
Situation,
Absolutely.
so.
And this is, if I read this correctly, it's per day.
correct. For each day of violation.
So this is how, this might be the perfect time to have a very beefy kind of a situation and publicize it so that we get other people looking and thinking about, if you have this problem, you gotta fix it now.
Yeah.
Dave and I had off the agenda, just talking about doing smoke tests and some other things. When we talked about it several months ago, we talked about that one heavy rain, and then they're flowing up 100,000 gallons a day,
Yeah.
in one day, and it then went right back down. So that tells me it's not chronic. It's not groundwater leaking in because it will keep coming in. That's somebody taking a sump pump from the basement, or this kind of roof leader going into it happens, it's over.
Yeah.
And let's not find them.
And I'm sure with this, the water department is looking at what's needed and what isn't, because to your point, we're treating something that's not going through a meter. Therefore, we're not getting user fees for it.
Well, is it, that was the one thing that seemed to be odd. I'm not sure Dave had more to think about, but it seemed like the water connection was a spigot in the back of one house, so it actually was being metered. It was an outdoor faucet, right?
Yeah, so from what I gathered from the record that I got a hold of was that the property does have one water meter for the entire front and rear building.
Okay,
And then split off of some of the garden hose spigots off the back of the house was running to all the outbuildings.
that's probably another point, just to make sure it's clear, that, I don't know if it's, maybe it should be Dave and Board of Health. Follow, and maybe we have to get the water department in there. Follow the meter. Where's the meter? It's up in the front of the building, and then all water's going beyond that. You can do two things with this. One is document that the water's been paid for. And that, well, I guess we've been getting paid for what we legitimately should have got, but we were also taking this roof leader that we weren't getting paid for. That's one. The second one is that, we can take, I mentioned to Dave, if you take the water meter readings, go back 3 years, say. If this illegitimate connection wasn't there, you'd see, okay, so it's 500 gallons a day, just a number.
Yeah,
And all of a sudden it went to 250 more. Well, that's when they put the first apartment in. And then it went up another 200. There's a second apartment. I think you'd be able to plot some kind of a curve to say, they started doing this 3 years before. And then they added on a year later, and then, just to give us, this is how long it's been going on.
Yeah.
And then to go back to the fine, just the way to legitimately say, they've been doing this for a long time. And here's the amount of water they use. Now, we've answered, hopefully we'd answer the question, that they legitimately pay for the water. At least that goes away. But then we can now look at how much do we estimate going in from roof leader 1, and maybe there's roof leader 2, and there's roof leader 3,
Right.
and now we're up to 60,000 gallons every time it rains. It doesn't take much to get up that high.
Dave, a couple weeks ago, you had indicated that the water usage was pretty much for what they had for ERUs.
Yeah, it
Basically,
does,
was-
it does
It wasn't
fit.
exceeding.
So the property has 3 ERUs
Okay,
and, their usage is within that range.
so that's 1,000 gallons a day, basically, that you're allowed to use. Right, and you said it was under that, it was within. that
It is,
parameter.
you might have that, yeah.
Well, you're looking, Gene, for the next meeting, can you pull together the property card? Just so we can see what's,
If I can pull the property card and
Yeah.
I'll do the, water records.
Okay.
So I'm sure the building department's looking at all the buildings and saying, did we permit these, did we not permit these?
Right. and
Yeah.
I'm looking at if the others decide, Board of Health, Building Department, whoever, that, yes, these structures can stay, but need to be upgraded or whatever, what does that do for EIUs? Like, is it more bedrooms and, that type of stuff? Because that's why if we get the property card now, we can see, how many, how's the three.
How they
EIUs
calculated the
allocated.
original fluid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And that should be in the paper vanilla folder too,
Yeah.
how they were originally
But the
assessed.
goal would be to,
And I.
Dismantle these, right?
EPA,
they're all being dismantled,
They
right?
were approved for the condos and the 2 apartments and the office, so I have all of that.
Okay. Because however it ends up, we would need to have the appropriate EIUs assessed.
Well, at some point then, there was 9, when they got the first, ERUs, there were 9 bedrooms on the property. Theoretically.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So I think, the front building is unit A and B. And then the rear building should have been studio, like for business,
Yeah,
and then an office upstairs.
okay.
And that has slowly changed into a residential apartment upstairs, residential apartment downstairs, with an additional residential apartment downstairs.
Okay.
And then outbuildings,
We have bedrooms.
yes,
Okay.
some of them multiple bedrooms and, yeah.
So there's up to 6 EIU type, potentially.
If they're allowed to keep it all.
Yeah, well, you can imagine that, but
Yeah, I'm gonna probably have a feeling they're gonna have to take a couple of those outbuildings down. That
Yeah.
probably weren't permitted.
And that's something the building.
That's
department
yeah.
would have
Yeah, exactly.
to make decisions on.
Yeah,
So we just have to focus.
that's right, just,
They've got 3 ERUs that fits the property right now as it was originally designed, not how it's been modified. And we need the sewer line connected to that rear building with no additional tie-ins, whether they're roof drains or outbuildings.
right. And whatever the other boards decide, we'll look at accordingly for EIUs. If we have the appropriate amount or
Yes.
not. So. Anything else?
Brian?
no, I'm thinking just if. I just got an email, that's what I'm thinking, about still a lot of commission.
Okay, we can adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.